Well, we're gonna add a letter to the title as we go from money to monkey.
Yes. Yeah, so I got a notification from Apple that they're offering me 3 months of Apple TV Plus for $3 per month. So I said, okay.
You'd literally buy that for $1.
Yes, I did. And did that, and I'm starting to watch Bad Monkey, which my mom and dad have been kind of pestering me to watch because they've watched it and they really enjoyed it. So I thought, okay, well, I'll give it a watch, give it a go. I'm 3 episodes in. Um, the uh, the series takes place primarily, well, two locations: the Florida Keys. Well, actually, see, like South Florida in general, the Keys, Miami, and then the Bahamas. And so the series follows Vince Vaughn's character, Philip Yancey, who is a detective who's been suspended because he drove his car into the back of his girlfriend's husband's golf cart and drove him into a pier. Yes, you heard that right. His girlfriend's husband. Um,
Oh man, is our theme tonight cuckoldry?
I guess so. um, so he's suspended from that, and he, as he's sitting, one of the aspects of the show that's kind of an ongoing thing is he lives in this little bungalow, and he's just, he has the peaceful life. He just sits on in his chair, looking out at the Gulf, or looking out at the ocean, and just having the great time. But then next door, they're building this gaudy looking mansion that's just painted yellow, and it's awful looking. And so he's always like screwing with the realtor who's trying to sell the place. And his partner shows up and says, "Hey, we need you to there's a fishing tourist fisher charter found a severed arm in the water, and actually the guy who owns the fishing charter is not only is he a friend of Vince Vaughn's character, but he's also the narrator of the series. And so his partner tells Vince Vaughn, "Hey, could you just take this arm to Miami, because the Florida Keys sheriff doesn't want to deal with it." So and of course Yancey, Vince Vaughn, he was actually a homicide detective in Miami, but then he got kicked off the force for reasons that haven't been made clear yet. And he shows up with a severed arm, which, by the way, it's the left arm because there's a ring finger on it, and the other part of it too is the middle finger is permanently extended out. So he shows up in Miami, and the coroner is played by her name is Dr. Rosa Campesino, played by, the actress's name is Natalie Martinez. I've seen her in other shows, but yeah. So she's like, "Nah, sorry, this isn't ours. You got to take it back." And his partner tells him, "Well, just dump the arm in the canal. Let the gators eat it, and just be done with it." But the thing with Vince Vaughn is that he just can't let things go. His curiosity always gets the better of him. So he takes the arm with him, and he decides to try to find out what's going on with it. And that's basically the crux of it. He's like, okay, well, he's trying to find out, who killed the person that severed this arm. And then there's also a parallel story that's taking place in the Bahamas with a guy named Neville. And Neville is a lot like Yancey. He just, he likes living a peaceful life off on the beach, and fishing, and hanging out with his buddies. But a a resort developer just bought up all the land along the beach, including his house, because his sister sold the house that he's living in, and they're bulldozing his house, and so now he goes to a voodoo witch doctor to put a curse on the guy that's about to bulldoze his house, but of course it doesn't work, and or maybe it does, we don't know. And of course the stories are connected because the guy that's building the resorts is was also involved in everything that's going on with Vince Vaughn. So and in case you were wondering, with the monkey is, oh god, what, I can't remember, the Driggs, I think, is the name of the monkey, and that's Neville's monkey. But and so for now the monkey's good, but that's probably going to change later on. But I mean, so far this series it's pretty funny. I mean, Vince Vaughn, he's always he's got that sarcastic charm. He's got that going in this.
Sounds like they're kind of going for a dry humor with it.
Oh yeah, definitely, and dark humor too. And it's actually done by the creator of the show. Oddly enough, also did Ted Lasso.
That makes sense. That's another
Yeah.
Apple TV show.
Yeah. And he also did Scrubs.
Now, let me ask you this. Does
Yes.
the show indulge in a lot of melodrama? Because that's kind of what eventually drove me away from Ted Lasso.
Not really. There's a little bit of it. But of course that might change later on. There's a little bit of that with the victim's daughter. She's a recovering drug addict who became a born again Christian.
Okay.
So you might get a little of that with her, but yeah, but so far not really. Haven't really gotten that yet. It's mainly just kind of a comedy, crime drama kind of show.
So it kind of sounds like what I've heard of Bird Notice.
Pretty similar, yeah, very similar. Although I would say this is more comedy than Burn Notice.
Okay, so it's a wackier version of that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. The story is very interesting. I'm kind of curious to see where the plot goes, or the story goes from here, and of course the whole thing with Vince Vaughn's girlfriend is interesting because he finds out that her name is, she's not who she says she is, and because he gets a visit from the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation agent, and she tells him that his girlfriend was actually a one of those teachers who was getting a little too close with one of her students.
Oh, the Mary Kay Letourneau type.
Yeah, that kind of type. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the other. So 8 episodes. I got 8 episodes left on. Yeah.
Are these half-hour or hour-long episodes?
Hour. Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty typical streaming season.
Yeah. It's
Well, cool.
Yeah.